Hello everyone, how are you? Hope all of you are well. Today we will start direct method of language teaching. That is, teach the language, not about the language. In this method, only focus in the language, how you can speak, not about the language, the history, how it comes, all this culture. It's not important in this method. Background. In the mid and late 19th century, Europe experienced a wave of increasing opportunities of communication due to industrialization and international trade and travel. A need was felt to develop oral proficiency in foreign languages. Language teachers had already found grammar translation method inadequate and ineffective in developing communicative ability in learners. They strongly advocate an alternative method in which language was presented in context and the mother tongue was avoided. Its principal advocates were Pendergast and Sevier, who proposed what they called natural method, that suggests radical change from grammar translation. It is this method that later on came to be known as the direct method. So, direct method. The direct method was the outcome of the reaction against the grammar translation method. It was based on the assumption that the learners of foreign and second language should directly think in English. This method is against the translation of written and oral text and focuses on telling the meanings of the words through action, demonstration, or real objects. This method focuses on directly thinking, doing discussion and conversation in second language. Richard and Rogers, 2001. So in this method, the target language is important. How you can speak. So you can do it through action, any kind of demonstration, or showing objects. That is the way of teaching language in this method. Definition. The direct method is a method of foreign or second language teaching which insists that only the target language should be used in class and meaning should be communicated directly by associating speech forms with actions, objects, mime, gestures, and situations. The direct method is named direct because meaning should be connected directly with the target language without translation into the native language. So concept or meaning is in target language. There is no L1 in no translation in the class. L. Sevier, F. Frank, and M. Burlige, the natural method. L2 learning similar to L1 learning. Language can be taught without use of learner's native language. Meaning should be conveyed through demonstration and action. Features. Meaning conveyed through demonstration. See, hear, say. Teacher replaces book as the model. Accuracy in speaking and writing emphasized. Speech dominates over writing. Immersion in the target language. Teaching through target language. Grammar learned inductively from examples. Use of visual aids. Theoretical assumption. The learning of second language was seen as parallel to the acquisition of the child's first language. This method therefore emphasized the importance of sounds, simple sentences, and direct association of language with object and person of immediate environment, the classroom, the home, the garden, etc. Language can be learned only through demonstration. Instead of analytical procedures of explaining grammar rules, students must be encouraged to use language naturally and spontaneously so that they induce grammar. The direct method. Basic principles. Goals. To communicate in target language, to think in target language. Roles. Teacher directs class activities, but students and teacher are partners in the teaching and learning process. Teaching or learning process. Students are taught to associate meaning and the target language directly. New target language words or phrases are introduced through the use of relia, pictures, or pantomime. Never the native language. Students speak in the target language a great deal and communicate as if in a real-life situations. Grammar rules are learned inductively by generalizing from examples. Students practice new vocabulary using words in sentences. Basic principles. Classroom instruction is conducted exclusively in the target language. The teacher should demonstrate, not explain or translate. Never translate, demonstrate. Number 2. Only everyday vocabulary and sentences are taught. Basic vocabulary is given first. Vocabulary is taught through known words, demonstration, authentic objects, relia, pictures and miming. Relia means the authentic objects. Number 5. New teaching points are introduced orally. Oral transmission. Number 6. Both speech and listening comprehension are taught. Number 7. The teacher, by asking the student to make a choice, gets him to correct his own error. Learning by self-correction. Number 8. The syllabus is based on situations or topics, not usually on linguistic structures, contextual or topical teaching. Number 9. Correct pronunciation is emphasized. Number 10. Students should learn to think in the target language as soon as possible. Number 11. The purpose of language learning is communication. Therefore, students need to learn how to ask questions as well as answer them. Communication first preference. Techniques. Reading aloud. Students take turn reading sections of a passage, play or dialogue out loud. Map drawing. Students are given a map without labeled, then the students label it by using the directions the teacher gives. Paragraph writing. The students are asked to write a passage in their own words. The teacher asks students of any nature and the students answer. So this is question answer pattern. Dictation. The teacher chooses a grade appropriate passage and reads the text. Aloud. Teacher reads the passage 3 times. Then the students will write it. Another characteristics is language is learned interactively. Grammar isn't explicitly taught in the direct method. Only the target language is used. Speaking is supreme. In the direct method, listening and speaking skills are given first priority. Example proliferation. Teach through examples. The examples should be simple, unambiguous, and interesting. Repetition is key in the direct method if students are to draw the correct conclusions. Visual support. A simple gesture can make your point vivid and clarify your intent, like jump, punch, dance, even swim. Listening activities. Oral exercises and tasks to make students comfortable in speaking target language. Need to provide stress-free and supportive environment. Advantage of the direct method. It teaches the language and doesn't teach about the language. Due to emphasis on speech, it is better for students who have a need of real communication in English. Teaching vocabulary using visual aids, which is still widely used today when teaching English to speakers of other languages. It makes the learning of English interesting and lively by establishing direct bond between a word and its meaning. It is an activity method facilitating alertness and participation of the pupils. Through this method, fluency of speech, good pronunciation, and power of expression are properly developed. Advantages. Direct method helps learners to acquire correct pronunciation. It provides better understanding, time saving, helpful in teaching idioms. It provides better fluency of language. Based on psychological principles, no gap between active and passive vocabularies. One of the positive points is that it promises to teach the language and not about the language. It is a natural method which teaches language in the same way the mother tongue is acquired. Only the target language is used and the learning is contextualized. Its emphasis on speech made it more attractive for those who have needs of real communication in the target language. It is one of the first methods to introduce the teaching of vocabulary through radials. Criticism. In spite of its achievement, the direct method fell short from fulfilling the needs of educational systems. One of its major shortcomings is that it was hard for public schools to integrate it. As R. Brown, 1994, points out, the direct method did not take well in public schools, where the constraints of budget, classroom size, time, and teacher background, native speakers or native-like fluency made such a method difficult to use. After a short popularity in the beginning of the 20th century, it soon began to lose its appeal because of these constraints. It then paved the way to the audiolingual method. Hope you understand direct method. Still, if you have any question, do comment in the comment section. Thank you everyone.